Hello and welcome to another episode of Schmittastic Social Media Tips, brought to you by Tweetfind.com. My name is Amy Schmittauer, and today we're going to talk about 10 ways to help you increase your Klout score. If you're not familiar with Klout, it's a website that actually takes your social media activity and measures your influence in how you are able to make your networks take some sort of call to action, such as retweeting, sharing, or just clicking a link. So they take all that information and they put it in their little algorithm and give you a score 1 to 100. So, unless you're Justin Bieber with a perfect score of 100, you might want to work on it a little bit. So here are a couple ways that you can do that. Tip number 1. First of all, you can't focus on just the score. Okay, I know that the number is out there and it's one of the easiest ways to measure your activity online, but it's not always entirely accurate. So as long as you're trying to make sure that you're not completely dropping the ball on social media and you don't have a score of like 30, then you can't focus on just the number. If anything, you want to take these steps so that, of course, your number increases, but you're actually going to have a better social media presence by doing these things. So just remember, don't stay completely focused on the score, but definitely take into consideration the following tips. Tip number 2, create great content. People are not going to care about what you have to say unless you're giving them something that they actually care about. So if you're expecting that what you had for lunch is going to get retweeted, it's not. Sorry. Think about who your audience members are and what they want to hear from you, so that if they find that information useful, they will share it along with their communities as well. Tip number 3, make sure you're actually engaging with the users on the social networks that you've connected to your Klout account. Yes, your score will definitely stay maintained or go up a little bit if you just connect your Instagram account, but if you're not actually posting pictures and liking and leaving comments with other users so that they will do the same with you, your score is not going to go up from that. Same thing with Facebook. If you have a Facebook account and you link it to your Klout score, your score is not going to go up if you're not actually using Facebook on a daily basis. Tip number 4. Use the +K system to tell Klout who's influencing you. It used to be that Klout would just kind of take their information from social networks to see who was influencing who by who you were retweeting, but now you can actually tell them who gave you great information and in what subject. So it's definitely great to be giving people that little boost in their Klout score so that Klout knows why they're influential on their networks, and possibly those people are going to give you the time of day and say, yeah, thanks for that. I actually find you influential in this as well, and they may give you a +K right back. Tip number 5, ask questions to drive conversation. It's always great when you ask a question online and people start responding with their opinions or their answers, or if you're just not sure about something and you can get people's opinion about it online. That is going to help your Klout score because Klout sees that you are actually engaging with people online. You're not just pushing content, you are actually having conversations. So asking a question is the best way to start driving conversation because people want to help you, and if you have a question and it's put out there on their Twitter stream, they're going to answer it. Tip number 6, let people know you appreciate their +Ks, retweets, and shares. When people give you these gifts is what I consider them. When someone retweets my content to their network, that's awesome. When somebody gives me a +K on Klout because I've influenced them in some way in social media, that's fantastic. I always want them to know directly from me, I see that you did that and I really appreciate it, because you're not going to get anywhere in life, much less social media, if you don't show appreciation for what others do to help your network grow. Tip number 7, make sure your tweets are easily retweetable. If you actually take the tweet that you're going to send out and type RT at your Twitter name before it, take a look and see where you are character-wise, because a lot of times people retweet your content, but they want to put their thoughts before it. So if your tweet's too long and you're not giving them enough room, it's less likely to be retweeted, or at least be retweeted thoughtfully. It's nice to see someone's feedback on your tweet if you can give them that opportunity. So try to be brief when you are forming a headline and putting a link in when you tweet out your content. Tip number 8, make sure you're engaging with people that have a relatively good to a higher Klout score. When you engage with people that have like no Klout or a very low score, that doesn't really reflect well on you, because even spam bots are getting a Klout score of like 25 or something. It's crazy. So just make sure that you're engaging with people with a higher score, because that means they're more active users anyway, and that will reflect well on your score. Tip number 9, share with your networks when you receive a Klout perk. It's always nice to move up your score, but it's even nicer when you get a reward for it. So definitely make sure you show your appreciation for that, because Klout's really good at showcasing its top influencers. And as you show appreciation for the network and you help promote it, you may actually get promoted by them as well. Tip number 10, share consistently. There's one slight flaw, in my opinion, in the Klout score, and that's if you go on vacation or take a little break or maybe not tweet as much, your score starts to drop a little bit. So it's important to know that your score will stay up the more consistent you are with your social activity. Thanks for stopping by for another great episode. I hope to see you next Wednesday on the Tweetfind blog. In the meantime, you can hear more from me at SavvySexySocial.com, on Twitter at Schmittastic, on Google+, Amy Schmittauer. I will see you next time.